All right, so it's 7:41 and
Yeah, I think we need to
yeah,
start.
I don't mind. I'll just yeah, let's just start. Yeah, so everyone, thanks so much for making the time to be here. Welcome to our June, you know, GATCOM commission meeting. So I know that there are no members of the public here right now,
Oh,
so there's no need for a public comment, I'm assuming.
no. So everybody knows who David is?
Yep.
Right, okay. So, and David, do you need any introduction to the rest of us?
Yeah, David,
Uh,
maybe, yeah.
yeah, that wouldn't be bad because I'm sort of new to all of this and I don't know. Uh, I honestly can't say I know a lot of people. So, but just by way of who I am, I am the uh, selectman elect so far. I will get sworn in at a later time when I come back from my vacation. But I've been assigned to my committees, and this is one of them. So I will strive to attend all of them and be with your committee. So I really would like to find out who your commissioners are. If you I know Matt and I know Mary, uh, and I feel of course we've met and have had a couple of exchanges of about things. But the rest of the group, I think I'm not as familiar with. So that would be nice.
Alden, who's behind the wheel, has probably been on the commission longest, although I'd have to look that up. And he works up in Middletown. There he is.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
So I am driving. I turned on the camera, but I'm going to be looking at the road instead of the phone. Yeah, I've been on. I don't know when I started on the commission, but I've been on the commission for many years. I've also served with the GATA committee of our um, local cable council. I served as a selectman representative to Soundview in some of the early days with Soundview. I currently am just wrapping up a term on the zoning board of appeals, and I asked to run for the coming time as an alternate. So as of the next swearing in, I moved from member of the ZBA to an alternate in the ZBA. I've been fairly involved in town politics for the past, I don't know, 12 years or so. By way of other introduction, last Friday I completed my final course in a Masters of Divinity program at Church Divinity School of the Pacific. I will be getting my MDiv, doing no paperwork complications. In October, I worked full-time as a communications manager for Community Health Center, which is a federally qualified health center headquartered in Middletown and sort of covering the state. So that's probably enough about me for right now.
Congratulations. That's great.
And maybe Teresa just came on.
Oh,
But yeah.
there she is. Yay.
Teresa, welcome.
What's up?
Yeah, we were just kind of sharing a little bit about our backgrounds to David, and David was also kind of introducing himself to us as well.
Cool. You want me to jump in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, hello, Mr. Vogel. So I have been a Woodbridge resident for 38 years. So, I am will actually also work in this town. I am the pool director for the Woodbridge Rec Department. Besides being the pool director, I've been on many different cable advisory commission committees, ad hocs, you name it, you know it. I actually, for almost 15 years, worked for the cable company that actually
Right.
provides us with our subscriber money. I actually worked for Cablevision for many years, but now I actually am an engineer for the gas company. So that's me in a nutshell. And I have 3 children under 3. And I've been at REC for 22 years. So now you all know how old I am. And and yeah, that's me. And I've been on this commission with PUA since I was 18 years old.
Yep.
So,
I
it's
think she
broken
beats Alden.
So that's me.
Cool.
Yep. Hi, David. Nice to meet you. So my name is Toby Wangu. I joined the commission in 2017. I've been a Woodbridge resident for most of all my life, and I've lived here for most of my life. Did spend some time kind of at university in Virginia, and yeah, now currently working in Stanford and also actively involved in the town on this commission and then on the EDC as well. So it's been fun serving.
Best last name you will ever hear.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks for service.
we got Alden. I don't know if Mr. Alden
Yeah.
Alden did for a while.
He did.
Yeah.
Alden did.
Oh,
he
and Teresa, yeah, just to let you know, so we did begin the meeting, but I didn't make a motion
Cool.
to approve the minutes. So now
Nice.
that you're here, yeah, feel free to kind of, yeah.
Oh, anybody could take that job. It's all right. I don't feel any something. I don't feel any
I know, I know, stop. I know, but just respecting, chairwoman.
He's gonna like these meetings more than the rec commission meetings, so a little bit more entertaining. I joke.
I know.
Mr. Adamovich has known me since I was in pre-K or probably before that. So let me grab our agenda because, like always, I am very unorganized, but pretend to be organized. All right. So we have the review of the minutes. Coordinators report.
Oh, you should probably approve or not the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we approved them. I was at the
No.
last meeting.
No.
Can I get a motion to approve our minutes from, I believe it's in March?
It
Thank
was
you, Alden.
May. May.
Oh,
It
May,
was
it says March.
Just last
May.
month. No,
Yep.
I think we
motion to
took
approve
care
the
of
minutes for May.
Okay.
right.
Cool. Okay, so that said that on the agenda, unless I'm looking at the wrong email, but that could
Mm.
very well be with me. And let's see here.
You want me to send this to you again?
No, let me see. I can pull it up. And as I think I was looking at the draft agenda, that's probably what happened. So I apologize. So, approval of our May minutes. Can I get a motion? I think I had Alden.
Oh,
I'll second.
Thank you, Mary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion?
I'm just abstaining just because I wasn't at the May meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
we'll accept that. Minutes are approved and passed. Thank you, everyone. Now our coordinators report.
I sent those to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Basically, the year being what it is, we have been recording more meetings than ever before. We're over 200. We usually turn out about 140, not just meetings, but things like the Memorial Day thing, meetings and events. Usually about 140 meetings and events. We are over 200 at this point.
Wow. Well,
Um,
Billy
the,
counting for the time.
but we can do it. There's something about doing it remotely is both easier and harder. It's
Yep.
harder, right? Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. The thing that I'm going to miss is people actually speaking into their microphones and not having to prompt them.
Yeah.
You have to remind them to unmute sometimes, but when we go back to face, and we'll get to that later, it's we're all going to have to adjust. That's for sure. We're a little over budget, but the two big projects we've had going, the PA system in the center gym is ready to be used. They just have a couple more things to install, a protective cage for the magic speaker up on one wall, and a second wireless microphone. Although it's of a type that goes like a lavalier mic with a battery pack, so the lecturer, like in TED Talk, can walk back and forth and talk to people. And we just don't do that at meetings. Everybody would rather have the handheld up on the stand. So I am looking over. I'm pretty sure I can order one that can replace it and be reprogrammed with it. I just have to find out some more information from the vendors. But if we had to have a meeting in there, we could do it. We have 9 working microphones. So that's good. Beginning of the month, I did remember to call in the vendors for the remote cameras and the microphone system in the main meeting room, which was a good thing because one of the connectors for half the mics is out of order, had to be sent back for repair. But the young man that they sent over ran around reprogramming everything so that we could get at least 8 microphones into the system. This is just as well because when you take 8 microphones and you space them every other seat around the horseshoe, everybody is safely spaced and socially distanced. I'm hearing that probably the Board of Selectmen will probably be meeting live, at least in July, see how it goes. I don't have many details after that, but I'll be in there with my mask and we'll put it on live as usual. I know all the land boards would really like to be face to face. There was an upgrade with WebEx, and a lot of them are having trouble getting people in. I'm not sure what the difference is, but they seem to be. There are long periods where we were waiting for a quorum on some of the meetings in the past month. Okay, so those are the 2 big projects. I'm almost ready to put some job postings up on the town website and then send out to schools to say, have any students that need work? But I'm not sure what I'm asking for. If we do go back to more live meetings, then I need somebody who can do a camera. That's easy.
Yeah.
If we're doing more remote meetings, I need somebody who knows some of the software that we've learned how to use over the past year. So I think I'll wait and see how things turn out in the next week or 2. If town plan and zoning is on the Tuesday after 4th of July weekend, that'll tell me a lot. Let's see. Other than that, I'm really over budget on my line, but things will probably zero out. And I want to go talk to Tony about using what's left from the grant from last year. We can cover some of our overage, but if there's anything left over from that, I'd like to pop it into the capital account so that we can work on our next project. And that could either be in pursuit of closed captions on the channel. There's a very attractive project coming out of the company that made our broadcast server that sends everything out to Cablevision. And we wouldn't have to buy any more equipment. That's one of the good things about it. I can give you more details if you like, but I have some. Oh yeah, there it is right there. It might cost us $3,500 or $4,500, depending on whether they're going to start charging us for a cloud account that I've been using and not getting any bills for. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not. Renew the tech support contract for 1 more year with the TC one in the big room. Um, and the thing that really bothers me, okay, closed captions is one goal that we've never gotten around to getting, and it's in sight. Better sound in the gym, that's almost done. Ethernet connection in the gym is it's kind of a mystery, and we might be a couple of years away from putting that into a grant because I really don't know the architecture of the network in that building, and I think we might have to pay some money to get the town's IT consultant to find out things for us. What was the other one?
Who I
Ethernet.
was wondering,
Yes.
yeah, just very quickly, I was wondering a couple things. So, um, I'm wondering is what else maybe is like top of mind. I know, initially you were thinking perhaps about continuing to seek grants from like Area 2 Cable Advisory Council to defray costs. And I
Yeah.
also know, especially in 2020, you were kind of letting us all know that that you were kind of thinking more actively about hiring people, maybe to begin to take over some of your responsibilities because you were saying like, you're quote unquote aging and like you want to
There's
keep like
no
a
quote unquote about it. I'm 69 years
succession in
old.
mind. And so, yeah, I'm also just wondering if there's anything else maybe that like is concerning you or that you think we need to maybe think about more.
Um, I think I got most of it. It's the closed captioning and under the umbrella of more live from remote locations would be both the Ethernet and possibly finding some wireless way to stream. Um, for example, we had partial success streaming to YouTube the sixth grade graduation, and I was using a hotspot that the school had, um, some something that had been distributed to all the schools from the State Department of Education, especially for families that don't have internet at all. Um, so I do have some correspondence I need to follow up with the manufacturer of Khajiit, um, because I have no idea what they would charge us. I know the ones for the schools were covered by the State Department of Education, probably under some COVID grant. Uh, but it would work like cell phones, but specifically, what can I say? It worked. Whatever it is they showed me, it worked up to a point. The end of the graduation kind of dropped off in the YouTube version, but most of the time it was fine, and grandparents were watching from somewhere.
Hmm.
So remote live, better access, and somebody who can take my place when I'm ready to get whisked away by my husband, who's been steadily retiring. So
Do you like anticipate that like kind of that succession planning or looking for like that successor for the coordinator position, like it's gonna have to kind of be on the shelf until pandemic restrictions like definitely lift? I mean, especially given like the Delta variant. And so like what I'm just kind of
yeah.
wondering.
I don't know. Up until I kept hearing more news about the Delta variant, which seems to be in Missouri a lot, Mr. Vogel. Um,
Yeah, it
I
is.
thought we were on our way to tiptoeing out that, I could start. I know there are students in communications at Southern and they always need work. So um, I wasn't able to offer them 50 hours of, no, it was 150 hours in one semester for their internship, but I could offer them a job, and they always have some job somewhere. Uh, one of the workshops I was in today, somebody was talking about the future of access, and this is with people who are taking care of the public educational and government channels. Say at one nonprofit place that maybe the future wasn't in having one executive director um, to help coordinate the whole deal, but to have a small group of people that were working as a team. That would mean that the town could continue to fund part-time workers, which saves taxpayers a lot of money because they don't have to pay us benefits. I don't know who's out there, what kind of work they're willing to do. I can imagine somebody who really wants to do independent film could use a job like this to pay the bills until they make their big break and become the next Steven Spielberg or whatever. But I don't know, and I guess I should start putting the post up and see who's out there.
And right, to be fair also though, right, I'm sure, right, because we're also kind of, at least I think that we were thinking about kind of editing personnel and camera personnel.
Right.
And during this time, that's definitely harder, right? That's on hold to some extent.
I think it could still be done. There's work that you need somebody there, and then there's other work where if you get to know the person and trust them, could be done by them at home if that's what they would like to do. And if we have another shutdown, I'm sure that kind of work could help somebody out. Can they turn it around as fast as I'm so manically try to get everything new on the weekend? I don't even know if people want it that soon. They want it when it's a hot meeting, like the latest town plan and zoning meeting on the 2 Orchard Road. They really want that one right away. But I try to be organized about it and say everything new will be on in the weekend. Maybe I have to give up that kind of goal because nobody really told me to do that. I don't know. Let's see who we can get first. As for this year's grant, I put in half the amount that the town had put in for our personnel costs, which I think is good. I would caution any future commission to rely on the grant to totally cover staff costs. First of all, I think it's good that the town makes that commitment. And second, I've seen Milford go into a tizzy when they didn't get the grant that they wanted because they thought they were going to lose the whole thing if they couldn't pay their coordinator everything. And he was doing all the recording himself. It was a different situation. Anyway, if anybody else has other ideas about what to pursue with the grant, it's not due until July 15th. So there's a little bit of time, and just shoot me an email. But right now I think, the one more thing. The one more thing was possibly replacing the Cablevision equipment, which looked like it was used in year 2000, and it's still there. And I do have a quote from last year to replace it for a send and receive unit that they would have to install at the Cablevision head end was under $5,200. But what I haven't been able to find out from the Cablevision representative is whether their engineers can install it for us. Comcast did this for the Hartford channel. So it would be good to ask if they want to charge us for labor, then we put that into the grant too. But I just can't get an answer from the people I need answers from. Can't find out about internet in the center building. Can't find out if Cablevision will help me replace the equipment. So there's always stuff up in the air. Anything else you want to know about the budget or meetings that we're covering in the future. That's something I want to bounce off you and on another agenda item.
You can continue as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
I only had one question to clarify for me.
Sure.
So you mentioned that during COVID, you did a lot. Did you do more than you telecast more than normal? Was that?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
what was,
Because,
great.
because it was the only way to make the meetings available to the public.
So you went beyond the normal number of meetings that you would have telecast.
Yes.
And it was that, and you tried to pick up what, every commission meeting or board meeting and everything, or was there a,
Almost everything. I had a specific request from the Board of Assessment Appeals, who I've never bothered to cover. Their hearings are supposed to be public, but it's about people's properties, so I kind of shied away from it.
Yeah.
And they, of course, recognize that it's public, had to be available to the public, but you didn't want to push it out there. So I carried it on YouTube, but not on the TV channel. They're available if anybody wants to see them, but I made them unlisted, so they're a little hard to find. Somebody asks, I can send them the link.
so is that the way, I mean, is it usually up to the commission or the board to ask you? Is that how I'm interested in the process a little bit.
Oh, well, yes. Let's see. Where's that memo? Our policies, the one that says memo from June 21st.
So
We do have these
usually,
policies. Go
yeah,
ahead.
usually at the beginning of the year, I will say beginning of the year, but it might be a little bit later than that. We set out basically, if you want to call a slate or agenda, on meetings that are priorities for us to cover, such as selectmen meetings, but things like that. And then we, based on two things, which other ones that we find that are, of course, ones that are, if you want to say flavor of the month, topic of the month, based on what's going on in the town. If there was a lot of stuff going on with the fire department, like we covered a lot of fire commission meetings when we were going through the firehouse. We started to cover a lot planning and zoning when things were going on with things with planning and zoning. When we, and so it's been, things were going on with the country club. We covered a lot of things like that. So we also keep track of what's actually going on in the town, and we're very receptive to that and cover the appropriate commissions to also provide that to the town's members.
We also have priorities in our policies, starting
Right.
with town meetings, and selectmen, finance, and education are sort of top of the list. And after that, the land board meetings. Before COVID, I thought I'd stretch and try and regularly do the public safety commissions, especially fire and police, because I thought it would be good for people to know what goes into that work. It's a big challenge because both those commissions have decided that third Monday is the day that's good for them to meet, and it's the same regular date for the Board of Education. So, if I had to drop those, I'd probably drop those.
Yep.
After that, there are some advisories, and for various reasons, they've either asked to be on TV, or something happened in their history, and people in the past commission decided it would be a good idea, for example, to keep an eye on the Conservation Commission. Back in 2010, when the AT&T cell phone tower went up on the farm, I think they wanted to hire their own lawyer to try and stop that application with the siting council, and then it fell apart because it was just a lawyer for the commission and not for the town. And even if you disregard that history, open space is a big deal in Woodbridge. So they're sort of one of the people that keep an eye on open space. So that, and they always met in the meeting room right after the Board of Finance. So it was convenient to cover them. When it was cameras, sometimes it's a matter of convenience. There was a period when the Economic Development Commission, or its predecessor, Industry and Development, used to meet right after finance. So if I was in there to cover Board of Finance, I might as well cover this meeting too. And they were sort of interesting. Coupop asked, and they it was a little inconvenient, but on occasions when their meetings conflict with somebody else, they have been very good about, I show them how to, here's a camera, turn it on when you come to order and turn it off when you adjourn. And I won't put anything on before or after that point. You can trust me. I try not to betray that trust. So that is another option. People who really want to be on TV, if I can't find a person to do the camera for them, I can get them a camera. What's up in the air now is which commissions will be live and which will be in person.
Right.
If it's in person, it depends on a lot on whether there's somebody available. So does that make it clearer?
Yeah, I mean, it's new to me, so I'm very interested in how the process kind of works. Seems like there's a lot of discretion, which is sounds very reasonable. And the overlap of various commission meeting dates would make it terribly difficult. You can't broadcast two things at once.
Oh, one example was the Housing Opportunity Advisory Committee decided they could only meet on Wednesday. So the last meeting they had was the same time as the regular Board of Selectmen meeting. Because it was remote, I was able to find another person to record it, not stream it, because the selectmen were on. And I was able to make that available on TV and on YouTube. Going forward, if they decide they want to meet live and I don't have somebody behind the camera, then I'll have to convince them to turn it on and off for us if they want to be on TV.
If they still want to go virtual and live, is that an option for them?
You mean a hybrid meeting?
Yeah.
I'm not going to offer them that option. It would, I think, to be satisfactory, you need one person on the camera and one person paying attention to the stream.
No, so I said no, so I misspoke. So say no camera, just they're meeting in person, but you also have, just one person as, like, it could just even be their phone or whatever it is as an attendee, and then have the link available for the, townsfolks to attend the meeting. Because I'll tell you this much, I've attended my fair share of meetings, and I've sat in rooms where there's been hundreds of people, and I'm sure we all have when you've been in this town for a long time, and you've sat in rooms where there's been 2 people. And sometimes the meetings that have had hundreds of people in it had less important information going on than the meeting that had 2 people in it. Because we had more times stuff going on budget-wise in the town with 2 people in the meeting, sitting in attendance as townspeople, asking questions, than some people, because it was a flavor of the month, sitting there with hundreds of people, going to that meeting. And not to say this point, but I know, having 3 little children, it is very hard to get out of the house.
Yep.
I'm not making an excuse, but it's very hard. And it's very hard to say to one person in the family, hey, you're going to stay home with them, or I'll stay home with them, or vice versa, to be able to get to that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I know myself what I've been seeing online with some of the town boards. A lot of people attended more of the virtual meetings than they've necessarily attended in person. And they've all of a sudden started taking interest in these meetings only because they were virtual.
And they
So,
like to watch it on demand afterwards. They don't necessarily have to
Yes.
be watching it live.
right.
Okay, so let me see if I understand what you're saying. Somebody who doesn't necessarily have our equipment for streaming streams it themselves and streams it to their
So
own
like-
YouTube or Facebook account?
Right. So like at the rec department, who hosts the meeting for the WebEx?
That was John
That's John.
DeMeo. Yeah.
Right. So why wouldn't they basically have their own John? Tell the commission president or vice president, treasurer or commission member, everyone take a turn and say, here, we want to be able to show this and have in person here, offer the link so people can attend the meeting virtually and in person.
People do, some of the commissions do that with their Zoom links, like fire and police. Sean and Robert Burke each uses their own Zoom account. I don't, and they have it on the agenda. Recreation, they put the WebEx link there if anybody wants to do. So, but the WebEx belongs to the town. So for a commission that has, okay, so Coopop. Coopop's been putting on the agenda that it would be live. And that's what has to get fixed. People have to remember if it's not necessarily going to be on YouTube live. You have to go to the link live. And that's what I did with our own agenda, because if I try and stream it and report to you at the same time, things get lost. We've seen that happen, right? So I just provide that live. Some commissions do not have staff working for them. Coopop has somebody, EDC has somebody, EMS. They
I'm
only
sure the
meet 4
police
times a year.
department, I'm sure the police commission could have someone.
No, because they use Mr. Burke's Zoom account,
Okay.
and frankly, my being able to use it doesn't mean everybody can. And I've had my share of big mistakes with it.
Right, but I'm not saying we have to use Zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, and I might be,
Or WebEx, yeah.
opening I mean, if anybody commission went to the town and said, hey, we want to offer this as an option with the WebEx, I don't see the town turning around and saying, no. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening.
I guess it depends.
if anything,
We
the
already
town
have several
Advocate
people
for
using
trying
the
to get as
meetings
many people out as
account.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, who would that be? So you're suggesting that
My suggestion is if it's a meeting that we can't cover going forward when meetings are in person, right? And we
Right.
can't cover it, and they still want it to be quote unquote viewable to everybody, then they need to offer a virtual option.
Okay.
That was quick.
I'll talk to Betsy about that when I see her. Maybe not tomorrow, but sometime later this week. Because I was going to bring you the question about streaming to the town's Facebook page.
Mhm.
She said, "Oh, interesting. Come in and talk to me about it." So I could ask her about that too, because I think the town staff people that do use WebEx have been using it like that. I think the Agricultural Commission has meetings on WebEx somewhere. They're just not meeting this summer. Oh, there's a question. Should we be checking on the Agricultural Commission when they start meeting again? Because they're all new.
They're a new commission?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they all got appointed in January. I didn't hear about I didn't know when they were meeting. They meet on, they're the only ones that, besides us, that meet regularly on Tuesdays at this point. But they already have,
We
you
can
know,
email them and see if they're interested.
in the fall when they stop being farmers. No, seriously, they met up until April and they said, can we just knock it off until we get the harvest in, and then they would be ready to meet again. Most of the ones that I can think of probably have staff that do have access to WebEx. Okay, so you're talking about both WebEx and camera.
Yes.
So we can do WebEx and camera, but I'm trying to just keep it super simple, right? Because what's going to happen is the proverbial bubble is going to pop when we stop going virtual, right? And everyone's going to run out of time. You're going to run out of people and run out of equipment.
Right.
That's the reality, because for the last year, people have been in this comfort bubble of, hey, I click on this link, I type in a password, and bing, bam, boom, I go to this meeting for an hour. You know, I have my pajama bottoms on and my polo top on for the something like there you go, you know, ready to rock and roll. And the thing is, they're going to still want their meetings being as easily accessible to everybody. So my thing is, if they still want to offer that easy accessibility to towns members, when, again, they probably have had more people participating in their meetings with it being virtual, is, hey, sorry, we can't record this, but I would advocate for you to offer this as a in-person and or virtual meeting. So have just one person there running whatever they need to, a cell phone, tablet, whatever it is, so that people in the town can still attend virtually and that they meet in face-to-face.
So I'll hop in here and note that what Middletown has decided to do for its meetings, and I think it's something that Woodbridge should be considering, is at least some of the meetings having them as hybrid meetings.
Oh,
I know it's a challenge, and if you're going to make hybrid meetings work, you probably need some better screens for places where hybrid meetings occur. But you know, that's where a lot of other folks are going, and I think we need to be paying attention to that.
do they use smart boards? Do you know? Because I think that's what Amity has been using for their hybrid meetings, and they've been hybrid for many months now.
Yeah, I don't believe they use smart boards. I believe they're just using pretty much just a straight large screen monitor and video.
Projector.
Well, no projector at all. So they have the large monitor, which is what the virtual portion is on, and then the camera is just a regular camera work that they do for broadcasting a meeting.
Hey, Teresa, I had a quick question because I'm not sure if I understood your point. So were you saying that you predict that a problem will be, right, if commissions go online, will go from online to in person again, that we may not be able to cover all the now available in-person meetings? And so you were suggesting that one way to potentially solve for that is to have kind of the personnel, like one of the personnel on the commission, offer to record the meeting themselves. Is that what you were saying? Or
Not record it, just offer it as a WebEx. So because I feel like a lot of people attend these meetings because they are able to go through the WebEx or go through Zoom or whatever it is. And I feel like a lot of these commissions are going to lose community attendance because the convenience of being able to go on your phone or your tablet and watch, attend these meetings virtually will be gone. So if we can't record them for them, which that's the top convenience, right? Then I feel that they should still offer, and I could be in left field, so pull me back if I am, but they should also offer a WebEx option for some people who are not able to attend, community members attend in person.
Which
Yeah, I
is
mean,
essentially the hybrid option.
Basically like a semi-hybrid, but Pooh is gonna, if I say that word, Pooh is gonna get mad.
No, I can just quit.
No. I'm not saying for
wouldn't.
us to
I
take
wouldn't.
that responsibility.
Yeah,
saying for the
I
commission.
think I'd wait and see what the commissions want.
Right.
They might not like hybrid. My issue with it is uneven audio. If you've ever watched any of the Amity meetings, they'll have, there was one version where there was one camera in the room, and way over at the end of the room was the screen with the people who were zooming in. You could hear the Zoomers very well, but everybody in the room, they're all masked and distanced, you couldn't hear them. Since then, they've reverted to using since they used YouTube to bring in the Zoom. All the recordings seem to be on a YouTube channel now, and so you see faces as usual, and then up in one corner is everybody who's meeting live from far away with an owl camera turning around to automatically find the person who's speaking now. But they're still very quiet in the live room, and they're still perfectly audible on the Zoom. Okay, so that's, a complicated way to say there are technical problems with making it an understandable and informative meeting. Does that make sense?
So a few different comments on that is that we are once again getting back to one of the oldest and most problematic issues we've confronted as a commission, which is audio quality. And, it's just, we made a lot of progress over the years in improving the audio quality, and moving to hybrid will present a new set of challenges. To the extent that meetings take place in the town hall, what you could do is you could have the TriCaster work as the input into the Zoom or WebEx meeting. And by doing it that way, you're going to get the sound quality that we traditionally had with the meetings coming out of the TriCaster. That's what will be on the video and what people would hear if they joined in via Zoom or WebEx.
Yeah, I thought of that. Now, that still
Yeah.
limits us to any meeting that's taking place in town hall.
Yes. And it may well be that as an initial thing, we may want to say that we recognize that a lot of people may want to continue having virtual access to meetings, while we want to move back as much as possible to face-to-face. To be able to facilitate that, meetings that wish to do that should take place from town hall. And just approach it that way, because the issue of, sort of the way Teresa's describing it is sort of good if everyone's really huddled closely next to each other around a table, which we don't want to be doing because of social distancing.
Right.
So in the past, how have we tried to deal with the issues of audio quality? Has the TriCaster solution ever been used before, or?
TriCaster to improve the audio? Well, that's what the microphone system in town hall is for, is to make one audio feed that leaves out a lot of muttering from the audience or extraneous noise. It's the kind of microphones they have at the table. Does that make sense?
So, so just to sort of give you a sense of how it fits, Toby, is that the TriCaster is what's broadcasting out, and it's going to take its input from various sources. And the reason we use it is that it gives you the ability to have multiple cameras, and you can switch between the cameras, and you can have a nice audio mix come in. Now, if you're doing a virtual meeting, what you could do is have that audio mix either come into the TriCaster, which is how I would end up doing it, and then the TriCaster out to our broadcast. And that gives you the same ability that we got beforehand. To get to the first part of your question of what we have done to address audio, we've worked on getting better mics and better placement of mics and better mixing. And that's sort of all sort of before you feed it into however you're broadcasting it out.
Yeah, and thank you, Alden, for walking me through that. I understood your point. I suppose I was just wondering if the issue, if the issue consistently has been maybe the audio quality, and it seems like what you were saying is that the TriCaster would in part solve that. I was just kind of maybe satisfy my own curiosity, wondering if that's ever been done in the past, and if not, why, if that seems to be the solution. I was just kind of wondering. Cool. I did have a quick question, by the way.
Yeah. Mhm.
And this is slightly unrelated, but just very quickly on the budget. And sorry if you've already mentioned this in a past meeting, but I do know that, under the capital column in the 2020 to 2021 budget, there is like a $20,000 number, and I actually, for the life of me, can't remember it. I know like we tend to run pretty lean as a commission, but I was just kind of curious.
That was the quote from, not the quote, that was the winning bid for the system in the center gym for a better PA. I had hoped we could get somebody who could also install internet, and then I realized it just wasn't going to do it. So the object is to make meetings more audible for people who are in the back of the gym. And I heard them testing the speaker during installation, and I think it'll do the job.
Makes sense.
So,
thanks.
And it came in that much cheaper than the original estimate from the people who put in the system in the town hall meeting room. So, okay.
Cool. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's see here. And any recommended purchases?
I did a bunch of year-end purchases. A new camera bag for one of the newer cameras. A bunch of cables, some of which get borrowed all the time when a presenter comes in and has their own laptop and we don't have the right cable to plug it into the projector. Oh dear, where did I put that year-end purchases? Anyway, I did almost use up everything that we have in technical services. There's like $50 left here, and finances and year-end. What did I ask for? I got it all from B&H Photo Video. The bag, a new external hard drive because I was running out of space on the 2 terabyte one I had, and the price has come down so much. It's like for 4 terabytes, it costs $50 less than it did a couple of years ago. Those videos take up a lot of space,
Running out of space. Like, I don't think I've ever heard that sentence before. Running out of space on a 2 terabyte. That's amazing. That's awesome, though.
That's from 3 fiscal years worth of meetings.
No, I hear you. I'm just, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It's a
and
lot of space. Yeah, wow. I
this, and
didn't.
this particular year was strange. Let's see.
Remember when you would hear about a terabyte drive and I think I was in college or grad school and someone's like, I have a terabyte drive. I'm like, what? Really? How much was
Yeah.
that? And it was like, and now
Remember-
it's like I have a terabyte in my cell phone. So
Really? Let me just mention out loud and hope that she hears me. I actually muted Mary's phone and I can't seem to unmute her. So I don't know if that's something that she can do. There was some extra noise coming in from her direction.
Yeah, I was actually
feel
gonna even
bad.
ask. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Mary can unmute herself as well. But yeah, I was gonna ask if
Yeah.
if someone wasn't speaking for them to mute their phones
Yeah.
anyway, just because there
Okay.
was feedback.
So Mary, if you know how to unmute yourself, come back to us. And I'm sorry I hit that button. So okay, tried to use up technical services. Have ideas about what to do with grants, and so the big thing up in the air is wait and see what all the boards and commissions want to do, and then be flexible with that. Look for other people that can help us record and maybe stream. And we'll see what happens next, I guess. Toby, if we have a video festival watching meeting, do you want to come? I'll send you an invitation.
Yeah, send me that invite.
Okay.
Toby, is
Great.
this your last meeting, my friend?
It is, and yeah, I did want to take some time to say thank you everyone for being welcoming. I joined 2017 and it has been a journey. I've actually learned a lot about recording that I never thought I would learn about. So, but yeah, it's been fun. Teresa, and Pua, you both have, I think, definitely made me laugh. Alden, you definitely Alden, you've definitely your suggestions and recommendations. I've definitely learned a few things. Even like the TriCaster today. So and yeah, Matt and Mary. I haven't really I wasn't on the commission as long with you both, but yeah, Matt, it was great meeting you, and Mary, it was great meeting you as well. So I just want to say thanks, everyone.
No, but
Yeah.
thank you. You know, I know you have a really hectic work schedule. I get it. Trust me. I worked in the Bronx for a really long time, and trust me, when you get home from after a super long commute, you're done. You're just done. So capital DONE, put a fork in it, call it a day.
Yeah.
Butterball
Yeah.
hotline, here I am. So you're done. Like, so, but it's great that I appreciate you even calling on the phone or, showing interest even or, joining the meetings when we really needed someone and making that effort in your work schedule. I really do appreciate it. You will be missed, but trust me, with your last name, you will not be forgotten. So
Thanks.
Just tune into the Economic Development Commission meetings and you'll see them there. Right?
And yeah, and David, I didn't want to leave you out. Yeah, it's also nice to meet you today. Felt like someone guilty.
Oh,
Wait,
so,
Mr.
Mary,
Vogel
wherever
will
you
report back.
are.
All right,
Okay.
where do we stand? Let me see here.
Let me see. Have we covered everything?
Pretty much we have. I do not see anything else on the agenda, and I always like to end on a high note here. So with that being said, can I please have a motion to adjourn? So that's it, Toby, right there. Can I get a second?
And Toby.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. It
Aye.
has been real. Stay cool. And welcome,
Definitely.
sir, and have a great holiday weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great night as well.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye.
for being here.
Bye.
Bye, Mary. Sorry I muted you.